Do do do. Do 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 do. Hey, I think I fixed it. I think I fixed it. Maybe. Now my webcam's broken. Yes! I fixed it! My webcam's broken, but I fixed it! Okay, let me fix my webcam now. Because now my video is all screwed up. Normally this is all fixed and you don't have to see any of this. I know video was okay, but it wasn't okay to me. And that's what matters. Video is okay now. It wasn't okay to me. I was too shiny in the video. Yeah, I do. Part of me is like, is that obvious? But I guess it is. Now I'm going to be self-conscious about it. It's actually lip shimmer. Do-do-do. Which you can't see very well. Tink is wanting bits. He'll fix that. She's getting really good at this, isn't she? Would you like a bit, Tinker? Would you like a bit? Buck, would you like a bit? Hey, there's the bits. Here's the Cheerios. Hey, Puck, can you speak? Speak. Come on. Nobody else is home. Speak. Make all the noise. Yeah, speak. Come on, speak. Speak. Come on. There you go. Puck says thank you. Look, they're both sitting oh so nicely. Make it rain. So hi, everybody. Oh my. I guess I need to get Fitz Liberator up, huh? If I'm trying to switch windows. Hey, Guido, what's for dinner? Hoping dinner's good. So many things. Okay, and then tell Fitz Liberator what to do. And there's so many things. Oh no, it's not what I wanted to move. Pork goulash. Okay then, I've never heard of pork goulash. She went under the blanket on her own accord. She actually does that. That is totally her thing. When I sit on the couch and I have a blanket, she wants to be under the blanket. If I'm in the bed, she wants to be under the bed, or she wants to be under the blanket. She likes being under blankets. She burrows. And, yeah, it gets warm at night sometimes between all the blankets and her, and then she'll actually crawl out if she gets too warm and then lay on top of the blankets, which is super annoying. So yeah, that's a thing. Please email some goulash. Oh. Oh. But yeah, she is a smart doggo. She's also a very destructive and anxious doggo. Usually make it with beef, but I have pork, so I mean, it's still food, right? Last night, favorite human asked me for ground beef and rice, like, mixed together. I was like, okay. You mean, like, for a burrito? Or casserole? No, I just want ground beef and rice. I fancied it up. I think I browned like 2 pounds. Oh my gosh, it was so much ground beef. 2 pounds of ground beef and 3 bell peppers and an onion and a bunch of seasonings, and I had to get out my Dutch oven. It was too big for my cast iron pan. I didn't have any spinach. I didn't think to pick up spinach when it was at the store. But yeah, that's what he wanted for dinner. And I'm like, well, we're going to make this fancier than what you asked for. Oh, I added some corn and beans too. Black beans. It was really good, and there are leftovers, and I am excited because that's what I'm having for lunch. So, I think there's actually less leftovers than I was anticipating, which is okay. And I told him, like, if there was way too much of it, I was just gonna freeze it, and then we were gonna reheat it for a day when I didn't feel like cooking, because that will happen. Leftovers are good. We're not really good leftover people. We're only good leftover people if it's, like, enough for one more meal. Like for a lunch. But, I have zero shame in, like, getting out tortillas and wrapping up leftovers and wrapping those up in whatever and freezing them and being like, hey, look, have an instant burrito. Oh, it's alright. Hey, Larry. Hey, Super Cowboys. Hey, DPI. I'm sure I missed people. Tanner, still in Hawaii. Mike Cassidy. Hey. Fenring. Yeah, I totally did break something, Tanner. I fixed it. I totally fixed it. Yeah, I really... Like, I'm still used to... It's weird because he's... Favorite Humans lived with me for... Gosh, has it been 2 years? And I'm still only used to cooking for, like, myself. I'd be like, okay, I'm cooking for 2 people. When in reality, I'm cooking for 3. Because he eats twice as much as I do. So, yeah. Puck, what are you doing on the couch? Come here, buddy. Come get these bits. He's like, but, Mom. Here, come stare at chat. Sit. Come on, sit. Here you go. Stare at chat. Stare at chat. I am highly amused by this, if you haven't guessed. Yeah, the freezer is totally the place where things are forgotten. And, yeah. I hope he didn't throw out my container, too. He just recently cleaned out the freezer. He is. Here. Gentle. There you go. So. Not until I return to the Orion arm again. What are you playing, Larry? Hey, Uncle Bill. Yeah, we're really not good leftover people. It's kind of funny because, like, his parents will send food. Like, he'll go see his parents and his parents will send food home with him. And, if it makes it into the fridge right away, A, that's a plus. And then B, it's usually a question of, is it stuff we're going to eat? If it's ribs, those get eaten. If it's anything else, it's kind of a toss-up. Puck might actually have cataracts. I don't know for sure. Puck is 10 going on 11. Hey, Walker! So, thanks for the bits. So here's the Cheerios. Hey, Puck, speak. Come on, speak! Speak! Say thank you to Walker. Speak! Yeah? Yeah? Ready? Make it rain! Moo! Puck probably does have cataracts. We've been a little worried about his vision. But yeah, he's 10 going on 11. And Tinker's 11 going on 12. Hey! Fish go moo. I don't know if they do cataract surgery on dogs. Here's the bits. Speak. Come on, speak. Speak at me. Come on. Speak. Come on. He's like, no. Puck. Hey, Puck. Look. Look what I got. Speak. Come on, speak. Really? Really? You're not going to say Fenmil? There you go. Make it rain. Hey, Veronica. But, I don't know if they do they might do cataract surgery on dogs, but it might be one of those, it might be one of those things where is it really worth it? And he can get around okay, so they can do cataract surgery on dogs. They don't do lens replacement, so not an improvement. Yeah, I think the little Chihuahua, but I think he may have been on stream like once or twice, maybe. I don't remember now. The little Chihuahua my parents had was practically blind. Yeah, I was gonna say, he can see, he can get around, he's okay. And yeah, they do look really young, and they act like they're young. Oh my goodness. Tinker will probably live to be 20, and I can't remember the expected age span for Puck. I expect it to be 15. So, yeah, I totally expect to have super senior arthritic dogs. So, yeah, those are my babies, my really old babies. They are old boys. I know. They, And trust me, if we go for a walk, I still get pulled around. I think the only thing I wouldn't do now with them is, like, I don't think I'd have Puck run next to my bike anymore. Like, if I ever get the bike out and hook up the dog trailer, I'll take him for, a ride that way, but I don't think I'd make him run. Yeah, their quality of... Yeah, Cardboard Lord. Hi, welcome. It is a walking noodle. She is a super long dachshund. Her dad was a standard and her mom was a mini, so she's as tall as her mom was and long as her dad. And one day I will find the pictures for you guys, because I'm sure there's pictures of Tinker between her parents somewhere. Tinker thinks she's a cat sometimes. She hunts mice and small rodents, which is not good. Yeah, Veronica, she's actually had back surgery twice. Yeah. She's had back surgery twice. I fully expect to put her in a doggy wheelchair. And yeah, it's some people are like, that's depressing. You're gonna put your dog in a doggy wheelchair. I'm like, she already has a ramp. She already has a ramp, so she doesn't have to do stairs. She doesn't do stairs at all. I pick her up and take her upstairs and carry her downstairs, and same thing off the porch. We carry her off the porch if we can get to her before she runs down. The only thing she jumps on and off of is the couch, and she still likes to jump off the bed when she's in a hurry in the morning, and that's the really bad thing because it's really high. So, yeah, you are a spoiled brat. You are a very expensive dog. I love you. Anyways, hi. Let me see if I can find the thing. Re-entry! Yeah. So, hi. Hello. Welcome to Science Sunday. I am your host, Annie Wilson. Ta-da! And, last week we went and we finished an image, and then we went on to Mast and looked for more images, and we decided that I was going to do a planet. So, I downloaded all the files after the stream, so I wouldn't forget, because that's actually kind of important. And I have the first one open on Fitz Liberator right now. This is a program that is free. I know it's for Windows. I can't believe if it runs on Nix and Mac. But it takes these Fitz images and takes them from a format that astronomers use and put them in a format that Photoshop takes. This is, wait, is this Jupiter? I swore I put Jupiter. Hey, Larry. I think this is Jupiter. I really do. See, here's the problem. The files don't tell me. So we are, maybe it's in the header data, which sometimes they have that. Everybody, okay, good. Chat's assuring me that this is indeed Jupiter. Because I'm like, oh shoot, did I really call it the wrong planet? Because I'll do that. Because reminder, if you're new, I know enough astronomy to be dangerous. My background is in computer science. I happen to do really well with visual things, but I have zero formal training, which is okay. At least that's what people keep telling me. So yeah, it actually does not have in clear text anywhere in here Jupiter in the image headers, and neither does it in the metadata, which, thanks. That is Earth. Don't fool her, chat. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Tisk, tisk, tisk. What are you doing? Okay, let me rearrange windows. Okay, so this green here, it's like the Earth with the rainforest intact, the green stripes. Hi, Q. Yeah, this green, as Q pointed out, it is not rainforest. Be quiet. There's no Amazon deliveries today. This green is not rainforest. It is indeed. They're pixels that are way too bright. And then the blue is the black clipping. So if it's blue, it's way too black, like way blacker than the sensors can handle or the image can handle. And if it's green, it's way too white. So we need to fix that. And part of me wants to play around with other stretch functions, but I don't know if that would change anything, because usually they bring out, you know, features that we can't see as clearly, and these are all making Jupiter way brighter. Look, it kind of looks like a star now. Actually, that worked. Because this one has never worked, and this was x to the 1.5, which seems weird. There's x squared. Cubed. There's a lot of detail, but I'm losing stuff. 4th, 5th, that. I'm just doing this so you guys can see all of the options. So I kind of liked, so there's linear, which reset everything. So there's linear and there's that. And I think linear gives us a little, or not linear, but x to the 1.5. Hey, pup. Sit. Stare into chat. Steal their souls. Speak. All right, here's the Cheerios. There's the dog. Make it rain! Thanks, Fenmill. Fenmill's like, what? No, doggies. Why the green splotches? Those are areas that are actually too white. And if I remove the white clipping, you can see that they're really white. So, auto scaling gets rid of the blue clipping. It does not get rid of the white clipping. And I know we've done this. Alright, so here's the white level tool. Nope, 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 nope. Also, there's no undo. So go back to this. Let's try peak. Put that there. That didn't do anything. Put that there. All right, I might have to do this manually, which is unfortunate. I mean, it's not too bad. Yes, Mike Cassidy. Photoshop is the next step, but I have to get all of these images into forms that can do Photoshop. And this actually kind of saves for me. Yeah, there's no undo, and it drives me crazy. So let's see what this looks like in linear. And this is a bit lighter in linear. But I like the definition that I get from, but I also feel like I'm missing stuff. So maybe we'll just leave it with linear, because I feel like it makes the edges too dark. And the background level, we'll just do that, which that didn't do anything. Part of me is like, actually, let's just leave it like that, because that will save us work later on. The blue just means it's going to lose data there, because this is literally all around the planet. I don't care. I don't care. I'll actually give it a little breathing room. And then another thing I need to do is note the file name. Sorry, I have a lot of things on my desk. So I've already noted the file name, or part of the file name, and I'm going to go back into the image headers, and we're going to look to see which filter this was. Which filter and which tool, and this was taken with WFC 3, UViz 2, and really the biggest thing is the F631 narrow. So that's Foxtrot 631 narrow, or, you know, November. So this is the information I need, because that will determine what color it gets assigned in Photoshop. So save, and we're just gonna call this linear because I'm happy. I think it means it was a calibration shot, I believe. I'm not entirely too sure. So that was Bravo Zulu Quebec, and now we're doing Charlie 0 Quebec. I don't know why they were named this. This is supposedly using the same settings as the last image, but this is kind of dark. And the white thing down here was all the way off. So we're going to, that's right, it doesn't really update until I let go, which is weird to me. So we're gonna leave it there. This is Fits Liberator. Let's see if I can do it. Fits, or is it Fits Lib? There we go. Fits Liberator. Again, this is a free program. I know it works on Windows. I can't remember if it works on Unix or not, or Mac. I really can't. Okay, so back to the image header. You're welcome. And this is same instrument, different filter. So we're going to do Foxtrot 395 narrow. Hold on, I think I might need to sneeze. Okay. There kinda is, that really only works for images that are like this. This doesn't take a whole lot of processing to get rid of the stuff we don't want, meaning like the background space, or to pull out the features we want, like the stripes of the planet. As far as working in Fit's Liberator, this has probably been one of the easiest images I've ever done, because it's pretty straightforward of what I want and what I don't want. There's no guessing of, is this gas? You know, do I lose this dust? Thank you, DPI. So yeah, there's that. So we're gonna save this one as well. I have a feeling that these are not going to end up where I want them to, because each one of these folders, because of how Mast works, or each one of these files, because of how Mast works, is in its own folder, in the folder that was downloaded. So they just do zip files inside of zip files, kind of. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a fan, but there's nested folders. And then this one is Charlie 1 Quebec, which I really hope this is a different filter. Because if it's not a different filter, we might have some problems. It is good. This one is Foxtrot 502 narrow. And then we'll go back to here. The white levels didn't quite... Oh my. Oh my. Reset, reset, reset. Don't! It crashed. Here, enjoy Tinker while I fix this. It is not. It has not been updated in a really long time, I think. Hey! Hey, Sleeper Sigh. Hey, Tinkerbell. Puck's like, I'm here for the bits. Puck, can you speak? Can you think Fenmel? Speak. Come on. Yeah, alright. Here's the Cheerios, there's the dogs. Make it rain! Alright. I have the program back up and running. So we're gonna flip back to that, and you can watch the doggies eat the Cheerios and the thing. Okay. Auto scaling didn't really do anything for us. We have to manually adjust this white to get rid of all the white clipping, because we actually don't want white clipping in this. And give it some breathing room. Boom, just like that. So sometimes these go quick, sometimes these don't go quick. Alright, this one is Charlie 2 Quebec. I don't understand why they picked this naming scheme. Alright, image headers. Is it a different filter? It is! Foxtrot 3, 4, 3, November. Or narrow. It's really narrow. I don't know what the F stands for. Auto scaling doesn't do anything. Get rid of that speck of green. And we're good. See, these ones are going really fast. All right. Oh, this is dark. And not in the, you know, usual. Okay. Charlie 3 Quebec. Filter is Foxtrot 275 wide. I'm thinking so. I think it's just how they handle all of that. And I'm thinking this is actually the planet turned a bit. Oh, it's a bit too much. We're still gonna plop them all into Photoshop and see what happens. Because I really only need, is that a green spot? I think that's a green spot. It might just be a hot pixel. Yeah, it totally was a green spot, and I think it was a hot pixel. So, which happens. But I will get rid of that. We have some space. We have stripes. Now, because I know the different filters capture different wavelengths of light, and I'm going to have to go through... I keep finding occasionally the different graphs and things that are like, these are what wavelengths are let through. This is like the essentially peak wavelength, and the stuff spread out to the side. And they measure everything in angstroms, and I think that's just because they want more... more numbers for precision. Which seems weird, but, you know, it seems weird, especially because astronomers are like, you're off by an order of magnitude. And I'm like, are you effing kidding me? Alright, so we're just gonna hit reset on this one, because they're just being weird now. Okay, that shot is rude just because you can see the oblatedness. You know I don't know what that means, right? So what is this? Charlie 4, Quebec. And this is F22 Fife wide. They do. They really do. Part of me is like, I don't like how the... There we go. I'm just always amused when they're like, well, your math is right. You're just off by a couple decimal places. I'm like, how is this okay? Because errors in margin for them are, like, huge. Hey, Disillusioned. Dog's like, I thought I heard something. Alright. Image headers, because as boring as it is, you want to... This is... We already have this filter length. This is F275 wide. So I'm just going to skip this one. And we're going to open the next one, because that's just silly for me to duplicate. And that's one of the reasons why I'm checking the filters before I move on. The same thing. We already have this one. There's only 2 more files to check, I promise. Same thing. It's really weird, but it saves us time. Is this the right one? This is the right one. And same thing. All right, cool. So we're done with this. Squished up sphere top to bottom. Okay. I mean, yeah, I can kind of see it. I'm just annoyed they must have done something different for this one. Longer exposure time or something, but we're not going to worry about that too much. So, flip over so you can stare at the dog while I open up Photoshop. Okay. Tink needs bits. Alright, give me 1 second. Alright, Tinker, you ready for some bits? Are you ready for some bits, Puck? Speak. Come on. That was weak. He can do better. Speak. Come on, speak. There you go. Good boy. Tinker, do you have anything to add to this? Despite her being the loud one, she doesn't speak on command. It was hard enough to get, you know, Fluffy to do it. Alright. Here's the Cheerios. There's the dogs. Tinker's probably right off camera. Make it rain! Get in there, Tink. Okay. So, why is everything not where I want it? Give me 1 minute. Okay, and here's our Jupiter image. So, this is... We're going to open all of them up. Actually, yeah, let's open all of them up first. I should really have a little script that pulls the name and renames, or makes a layer and names it with the file name. So that would help me temporarily. Not in the long run, but temporarily that would be nice. It is pretty, isn't it? Hey, YYZ! Which is way easier to say than Yankee Yankee Zulu. And we only go up to 4. Part of me is like, I wonder... Oh, it'll be okay. Part of me is like, I can go back and fix that and make it better. And the other part of me is like, no, just leave it alone. Okay. So, I'm gonna call this F225 wide. F275 wide. F343 narrow. And F502 narrow. Yep. Yeah, so when data comes down from the telescopes, it comes down in grayscale. And the reason for that is this equipment's kind of old. Remember, Hubble went up in, what, the early 90s? So, and the last servicing mission was well over 10 years ago, if I recall correctly. So, when they put technology in space, they put technology that was current when they started building, which means sometimes they have to go to eBay and find old parts. Because they do use a lot of off-the-shelf parts. Things like error-correcting RAM are important, because it can correct itself if, you know, a cosmic ray hits and a bit flips, which can be terrible. But yeah, so for starters, the technology is kind of old. And even though it seems like, oh, this is boring, this is grayscale, We can do a lot with grayscale, especially when you have a lot of different grayscale images that have been taken with different filters, which is the case here. And these different filters filter light, and they only let certain wavelengths through. And I don't know off the top of my head which wavelengths, you know, which filter lets through which wavelengths, because they have kind of arbitrary names, like F3, 9, or 5 narrow. I know narrow means it's narrow and it doesn't let in nearly as many wavelengths of light compared to wide, which lets in lets in way more wavelengths. Yes, and each one of these images was taken with a different filter, and that's what I'm doing now, is naming the layers with the filter. So I can take all of these layers and dump them into one file, and then kind of adjust from there, and hope that we kind of all have the same kind of image of Jupiter, because, you know, it rotates. But I think when I downloaded these, I looked to make sure that they were pretty close. They were taken pretty close sequentially in time, and not like days apart. So, and yes, as DPI points out, Hubble has lasted way longer than planned, least anticipated, which, go NASA. Part of that's been because of servicing missions, part of that's been because of technology, part of that's been how we've adapted to some of its failures. So, yeah, when the wheels stop working, that's bad, because then they can't aim and point the telescope where it needs to be. So they can't take pictures of everything. They're going to take pictures, collect data, as they would say, for as long as they can. And one of the astronomers at make it rain! One of the astronomers at Youngstown State University, Dr. Patrick Durrell, actually gets Hubble time on... He's gotten Hubble time more than once. So I'm not sure how long it takes Hubble to switch filters to take consecutive images. I know that the filters are all on a wheel, and there's actually 2 cameras side by side that use the same filter wheel. Kind of. I think that's how that works. But yeah, there's essentially 2 cameras that are side by side, and they can use the same filter wheel, so they can't use the same filter at the same time. But they're pointed at pretty much the same part of the sky. They can each take an image. One takes it with one filter, one takes it with another filter, and then you can actually, in IRAF right now, combine those images together. So that's pretty cool. And I know for some of the data that Dr. Durrell and Dr. Feldmeyer work with, who's the other astronomer at Youngstown State, they actually get like blocks of time, and they actually take multiple exposures, because they're trying to image things that are really, really far away. Like, they do a decent amount of work with M101. So they just take all of these, it's like doing HDR photography. They take all of these images and just stack them together, sometimes called drizzling. And yeah, and then that's how they get their final-ish images. So I imagine it would rotate decently fast. I mean, I really don't know. I think these images were taken minutes apart. I could pull up Fitz Liberator and look again, but I'd rather not, quite frankly, because I don't know where to find that information in the image header. I know it's there somewhere. I just don't know where it is in the image header, because I really don't care about that. I took care of that when I downloaded the files. So yeah, because when you go and search on MAST for all of these files, you can actually see when they were taken, how long the exposure is, what filter was used, and you can pick and choose from there. So yeah, M101 is not that far away if it's a Messier object. Okay, so maybe not M101, but, gosh, they accidentally found a galaxy while they were trying to image something that was really, really far away. So, yeah. They totally did accidentally find a galaxy, and it was just in the foreground of whatever they were working on. Dr. Durrell really likes globular clusters. Like, you can talk to him about globular clusters if you're really, really into it, and he will talk your ear off. Dr. Feldmeyer, I'm not as sure, which I feel bad about. I'm sorry, John. I am so, so sorry. But I know with M101 they were looking at star formation and things of that nature. Because star formation in M101 is weird and we don't know why. And no, at the moment I cannot remember why it's weird. So, yeah. I know enough astronomy to be dangerous. Yeah! Anyways, what image is this? Let's go back to naming the file. Okay, this was 5... Or no, Foxtrot 3, Niner, Fife, Narrow. Yeah, it really did. And I can't remember... part of me wants to say, I feel like I'm missing an image. I am, somehow. I am. Okay. So now I have to go back and find it. There it is. They really did. And they got so much press coverage because they found this galaxy. And they're like, this is not a big deal. This is not as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. Okay, so now I have to do this weird thing. It's like, okay, come on. Really? I know I've managed to do this before. Did I do this before? Alright, so copy paste works, but dropping it into the file doesn't work. That's weird. No, I don't want to save. Hey, thanks for following! I know it's kind of boring to look right now. I am only dangerous in astronomy if you discover an asteroid on a collision orbit with Earth. I mean... I feel like I'm dangerous because I know enough to talk about it and sound somewhat intelligent, but I also know what I don't know, which is a lot. There's a lot I don't know about astronomy. These last two images may or may not end up getting used. I know I don't know a lot about astronomy, and I know that if I'm not careful, I can contribute to misinformation, which I really don't want to do. And I try to essentially double check with the astronomers before I explain something. And it works out for them because... Alright, what is this? This is Jupiter. 3 March. It works out for them because if I don't understand it, then there's no chance that their students are going to understand it. So it kind of works out that way. Because they both, Dr. Durrell and Dr. Feldmeyer, they do a lot of astronomy teaching. They do a lot of making sure people understand what's going on. Alright, so now I need to turn all of these to screen. And we also have a planetarium, which I don't give... I've not given a public show, like a Star Talk. I want to, but I want it to be, hey, Mr. Rosen. I want to, but I want it to be, how do I put this? Because we have a general audience, we make everything very kid-friendly and clean. And there's a lot of the Star lore that if you actually read about, that's not so clean. And I would love to do an adults-only show. Because I think that would be hilarious. But I don't know if we could do that. I would also actually have to, like, sit down and come up with everything. So, okay. So, layer... image mode. We want RGB. Don't merge the layers. Alright, so now we're on RGB. Everything's set to screen. This now looks like a star, which kind of makes me sad. What is the Star War? I'm not sure where you got that. The safe disaster. See, I really don't like this one. So I think we're going to go with... we might drop those two first ones. And what do we do now? Colorize? Mode. We did RGB color. I know the things I know and do not know. Yeah, I mean, I try. I really do. I enjoy explaining things in a way that that can be understood. I think it's this. Yes, it is this. You know, we're just gonna pick a color. I think this needs to be screen too. Or is it overlay? Hue? Color? Oh, non-child friendly topic. Star lore, or the stories behind, because there's a great oral, several cultures, many cultures, in fact. I kind of want to say all cultures have at least some sort of oral history regarding the star lore, or the stories that we tell about the stars. We've standardized the constellations to 88. So there's 44 for the northern hemisphere, 44 for the southern hemisphere, and they are all essentially Eurocentric, which, okay, but they're Eurocentric, which can and can't be a problem. Alright, why is this not working? I always screw this one up, and I don't know why. Let me just do screen. Alright, that's not working. Yes, delete. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why this isn't working. But yeah, they're all Eurocentric, except for the star names, which come from ancient Arabic, if I recall correctly. And Don't want a layer mask. But star names come from one thing, and constellations come from another culture, and the stories that go with constellations are usually from the culture that they're from. So I want to say there's a lot of Greek star lore. But I can't remember off the top of my head. I will be quite honest and say that I can't remember off the top of my head. So I'm annoyed now because I do this, but I don't do this enough to know what I'm doing. Help. So, but yeah, but the Chinese have a whole different set of star lore, and they use the stars very differently. And yeah, there's constellations, but there's also houses, and stars represent individual people, which gets really confusing if you don't, follow it closely. Stars can represent individual people. See, I know I want a new adjustment layer, and I know I want hue saturation, and I know I want to create a clipping mask, and I know I want it to be screen. But then it does, like, oh, I have to click colorize. I feel silly now. But yeah, like, we're not the only ones that came up with the idea to, do stuff. We're just gonna make this red. She is such a good girl, isn't she? Alright, you guys ready? Make it rain! She has learned. But, yeah, if you actually go and read the star lore for, Pink Jupiter are falling, for, the Greeks, actually, I think we're just gonna go back to that. Okay. Start all over with this. If you read it, it's very, rowdy. The stories that we tell in the planetarium have been made family friendly, quite frankly. And there's nothing wrong with that. Before anybody freaks out, there's nothing wrong with the fact that we made the stories family friendly. Because some of the content can be kind of, disturbing. But some of the stories, I'm like, these are amazing, and I would love to tell an adult audience. So, yeah. I remember our current lecturer actually, as part of her Star Talk, talks about, in Chinese mythology, there was, the Milky Way was a river, and there were two lovers essentially separated by the river, which I thought was sweet. Because I had never heard that before, so that was nice. Because I'm very used to, the engineer's Star Talk. That's a very pretty pink Jupiter. See, I was used to his Star Talk, and hers was very different, which is good. It's good to have different Star Talks. Alright, new adjustment layer, now that I know what the heck I'm doing. Yes, Stellarium does have a bunch of different star lores for the constellation display. Their Chinese one is incomplete. Because I was working on expanding it for a while, but then I stopped. So, you know, you'll have that. We'll make this one green. I want it to be a pretty green, though. Yeah, I was working on it for a while, and then I stopped because of reasons. I know, I heard you, cat. You've been fed. Don't let him lie to you. He's been fed. He is not starving. He just thinks he's starving. Stellarium is pretty cool. He is loud, isn't he? He is like behind a... He's on the other side of the room, behind a door, and you can hear him. That's how loud my cat is. He does sound like a baby, and I've had people ask me, you know, you have a kid? I'm like, nope. Nope, that's my cat. Okay, fine, I'll go get the cat. I don't know if he'll be happy about it. Watch some dogs. I'm gonna go get the cat. Are you gonna help me get the cat? Kitty! Hi! Ugh! Hi! There are people that want to see you. They don't believe that you've been fed. Oh, okay, let me put my earbuds back in. I don't know how cooperative he's going to be. Why are you running away? I know, right? I know. Okay. Here's the kitty. Kitty bits. Do you want a Cheerio? No? Well, okay. The dogs are getting your Cheerios. Looks like I get the Cheerios. Make it rain! Aw. Yeah, I just have the one. He's a senior too. He's a senior too. I don't remember how old you are. But he doesn't have a lot of teeth. And he insists, demands soft food at least twice a day. Yeah, you're gonna purr. They can hear you purring. Enjoy the kitty purrs. Now on CosmoQuest ASMR. Alright. Move the microphone back out of the way. I'm gonna put you on my lap now, okay? Okay. He's like, nope, I'm done. But yeah. Meow! Meow! Can I finish? And it's not on camera, because of course it's not, but Tinker's licking the cat. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I have 2 more layers. Can I colorize 2 more layers? Okay. I'm glad we had this talk. I do not starve him. Don't listen to him. He's lying. 2 more layers, buddy. Alright, so I did green. I did red. So now let's do blue. He is pretty amazing. Oh, I just realized you guys can't see what I'm doing. It's like, duh. I know, buddy. Because he's a cat, I can't get him to sit in front of the camera like I can with the dogs, so No, trust me. He was fed. He was fed immediately after I fed the dogs this morning. And they don't ever miss a meal. Ever. And with this one, let's go for more of a purple. No, they don't ever miss a meal. Alright, we're just gonna see how this looks. And I think we're going to have to go back. Oh, no, we don't want those two. I don't think. Okay, so quickly, because we're almost out of time, although it doesn't really matter because I don't have plans for a while. But I'm going to adjust the lightness. This one's weird. Oh, it's because I have the saturation set weirdly. I know, right? All right, let me look at the other ones. Saturation set to 51. Meow. This one's being tricky. And now Tinker's looking for Cheerios in the weirdest places. Alright, we're gonna delete you. Oh, I guess I need to red bit this for the kitty. Well, the kitty's not going to get any of the... Oh, that was the cat I heard, not the dog. You don't want these. Am I going to have to buy kitty treats? I'm going to have to buy kitty treats. Anyways, here's the Cheerios. Make it rain! Some more Cheerios. Make it rain! Thanks, Fenmill! I might actually have to buy kitty treats. Alright. I think I'm just going to delete this layer because it's not working at all the way I want it to. Yes, I must buy kitty treats. Okay, I will buy kitty treats. Are you guys going to force Pamela to get a cat then? His tail's on the camera. His tail was on the camera. Oh, you are the best kind of distraction, buddy. Alright. Try this again. Colorize. Okay. So maybe it was this one that I messed up. Okay, we're starting to get some sort of color. Huh. It would take a special cat to hang with Eddie and Stella. Oh my goodness. Not so much Eddie as Stella. Stella's something else. I know. Alright, so this one's already kind of dark. Like, it doesn't have any light spots, which is good. This one can probably be made a bit darker. He's just going to meander around now. I'm going to end up giving him another can of food. So lest anybody worry that my cat is going to starve, he's not going to starve. Now it looks like a light grape. You're okay, buddy. You're not going to die. Oh, shoot. Hue, color, luminosity. Part of me is like, let's do screen. Or overlay. I forgot to totally adjust this. And that's my pill bottle beeping to tell me that it's... Alright, so I guess we're just gonna go with screen for these. But then it makes it way too bright, which is weird. So normal. Because this is totally acting additive, which is okay. Dying cats sound like Yoko Ono singing in the old days. Yeah, these are acting as additive, which is okay. That's okay. It's just... I have to change my approach with this one a little bit. Okay, there's some color. Okay, we got color. And I think this is actually probably a good place to stop. I'm not happy with it. And I think this is just going to be down to me messing with teeny tiny adjustments. Teeny tiny adjustments. Also, I think one of these layers isn't like the other. I think it's that one that's not like the others, which I figured we might run into this problem. And to show you what I mean, I'm going to turn off all these other ones. So notice how these are like kind of have definite stripes, and I think it's this feature I keep seeing. This one. No, I guess it does have that feature. It does have that V feature. Never mind. Yes, at this speed, we probably should keep track of at least what would be nice to work on next. Planets are apparently tricky. Okay, you can kind of see it on this one how the dots don't line up. And I don't know how to handle that. Like it's right here that they don't line up because, you know, planets turn, and right here that they don't line up because planets turn. Shh. I know, I hear the truck too. So those don't line up. These line up. These two line up better. And this one's not so bad. So maybe it'll just be these three. Which means we'll turn this one to red. Which I know it doesn't look very red right now. And the preview bar has it like a brown. That one's blue. And this one's pink, but we really want that to be more of a green or a yellow. I can't remember which. But yeah, you're right. At this speed that I'm going, we probably should look into what's next. I feel like DST started, but that's until next week in most of the US. Oh my goodness. RGB? So yeah, red, green, blue, which is what I'm working in, duh. So yeah. I think if you want Q says, I think if you want to take planet rotation into account, you need to project these images onto a sphere. Can I do that in Photoshop? So part of me is like, if I can do that in Photoshop, I could probably do that. And then just kind of rotate them to how I want them to be. Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing. That's why I was looking at the ones that that aren't, where it's not so obvious, where like there's gonna be blur. I get that. Oops, I'm not even working with the right one. There's gonna be blur. I get that. I'm okay with that. Make this one up. Again, not messing with the right one. Let's mess with the right one. Now it looks like this weird kind of gray. Shh. I'm thinking, Tinker. I don't know. Because part of me is thinking I can take the same image, even though it wouldn't be correct. I could take the same image and give it different color assignments. And that way that would get rid of some of the blurring. Because I'm not entirely too sure how NASA or people that do this, I don't know how they handle I don't know how they handle doing planets. Alright, bye Super Cowboys! So, I don't know. I'm gonna save it and I'm gonna call it done because I need to think and research. Because all the training that I've kind of done was essentially, hey, here's how you do a galaxy. And galaxies are easy. They move, but they don't move as fast as planets do. So, yeah. I got Cheerios. Alright. You want to get in front of the thing? Just have Cheerios. So, the same image with different colors will help you get the same result if you only mix the two colors. Yeah, I was afraid of that. I was afraid of that. I was definitely afraid of that. Alright. So before we go, because even though I'm pretty much done with Photoshop for the day because, you know, it's Photoshop, there's been something I've been meaning to show you guys, and you need to give me a second to get it loaded because I didn't think to load it ahead of time. Because, you know, reasons and things. And now I have to dig for it because I'm not sure where it is. There it is. Yeah, the hour is past 2. Which, there's nothing really restricting me to only streaming for an hour, but it is nice to just be like, okay, I'm done! But yeah, I'm going to play something for you guys. Pull up my audio thing, make sure that's all set up. And I'm not going to show you what it is, but I want you guys to listen. I'm going to mute my mic too so you don't hear the dogs or anything. So, can anyone guess what they just listened to? Have any guesses at all? It is nice, isn't it? It's really pretty. R2-D2? Of course you'd say R2-D2. It sounded a bit like Trappist translated to sound. Alright. Let me finish telling the thing to do. The wind on Mars, the sound of two black holes merging, glass harmonica, the music of spheres. I like the music of spheres. And this is just everything just a little bit. Maybe gamma radiation. Not quite. All right, you guys ready? So same sound, and to you this image probably looks a little weird, but that's because we're looking at it how, you know, I've seen the astronomers at Youngstown State look at it. This is what we would see normally. This is a FITS image, like what we were just working on, and this is a globular cluster. Yeah, it's a sonified globular cluster. Isn't that really freaking cool? So, yeah, I think DPI was the closest one. So this tool allows blind and visually impaired students and people in general do astronomy. Not just interpret astronomy, but do astronomy. Yeah, this is literally astronomy for the blind. And I'll clear this out and I'll pull up. I think the globular cluster is my favorite object, but we can do things like some of these won't be as good. It is really awesome. And everything, if somebody was to use a screen reader, everything on this screen is readable with the screen reader. I looked at the source code. It's all JavaScript, which I'm like, okay, that's cool. It is not public, unfortunately. The project is called Afterglow, and it's part of iData, which I don't think I have a link to right away. Yes, Q, this is being used to teach blind and visually impaired, BVI, high school students astronomy, and I think there's at least one blind astronomer that uses it as well. This has been developed with lots and lots of input from these students. This is user-centered design. This is not somebody coming in and saying, here, use this clunky thing. They've adjusted it every way they can. So another really cool thing, so like people that are sighted can use it because it's easy for, you know, a sighted person to navigate, and we can see a whole lot. I'm just trying to find a decent... I might actually have to, let's do faint target. Nope, default, not bright target. Oh, maybe I want to change the, so like in FITS, we can change the stretch function, which isn't doing me any favors. And yeah, I guess that'll work. This one will work. I'm sorry if you're blue-green, actually, or not blue-green, but red-green, so that's actually not good. So let's just go with inverted because that's easier to see. So there's a region mode and a viewport mode. And the viewport will play whatever's in the viewport. So we're going to play this whole thing as it is, and then we're going to navigate it using the custom settings. It takes a second to sonify. I can only, Veronica asks, can you play the sounds of others? I can only play what's already in the library or what data is requested from Skynet, I think is the program called. Or telescopes that these students actually have access to. So I can't play a whole lot. That might be it, DPI. Yeah, I know, Kat. So each time is on the vertical axis. And pitch is on the horizontal axis. So if it's to the left, it's a lower pitch. And if it's to the right, it's a higher pitch. And loudness or intensity is linked to brightness. So they've literally gotten 3 dimensions out of a 2D thing, which is pretty cool because, you know, let me flip this back over to the way that we're used to seeing it. We're going, okay, that's, the star is really bright compared to this disk. And anything that's like fuzzy is actually has that staticky noise. So we're going to navigate by time, and what we're interested in listening to is this. So we do mid-time, and we want mid-tone navigation. And then we can sonify again, give it a second. And yes, I agree, Skynet is a horrible name. And by zooming in on the image, you can listen to a whole lot more detail. Can't remember. Oh, I don't think I've actually played this image before. This will be interesting. So this is an image of the moon with lots and lots of craters. I've never listened to this. There's a lot of things. Shh, shh, shh. Tinker. We're listening to pretty science. Have a Cheerio. Hush. Yeah, as long as nobody invents a Terminator. Alright, so I'm going to play it again. So yeah, that's super cool. And Saturn, we'll just do confirm there are dogs on the moon. I know, right? And a cat. And let's, I think this is early. And we're gonna want low. Obviously you can only zoom in so much for it to get pixelated. So time navigation, we're gonna go late. Tone navigation, we're gonna go high. Oh, that was a bit too much. All right, so we're just gonna play it from here. And I'm gonna switch back to viewport. Because it's easier for, to me, I feel like it's easier for a sighted person to do it this way. And yeah, that's what Saturn sounds like. So they train these BVI students on how to use the software by literally putting in shapes. And of course now it's not wanting to load the library. Why are you not loading the library? They have an outline of a circle, outline of a rectangle, outline of a triangle, and a filled-in triangle. And they all sound neat. Yeah, it has some clipping. It's because I turned the sound way up because it's really faint. And there's no way to control the volume inside of the program. All right. Refresh it and see. Yeah, it was very white, very loud. Okay, data providers. Because sometimes refresh fix it all. So here's the circle outline. And I turned down the volume a little bit. Would a Cassini image be undistorted? I don't know. So that was the circle. And here's the rectangle. So the rectangle to me sounds like a technical difficulties tone almost. Here's the filled-in triangle. This will be important in a bit. I'll show you why. This plays kinda... I'm not sure if it plays the edges or the whole thing. It has 22 tones. And as far as I can tell, it chops the image up, or the space up to be sonified, into 22 horizontal bars. And so the solid triangle definitely sounds different than the outline triangle. So yeah. Let's see. Satellite sparse. We'll do sparse, and then I think that'll be the last one. Play the edges of the triangle, certainly, because there were only 2 pitches. I think that's one of the ways they handle it. Straight. I mean, there's not a whole lot of straight lines like that in astronomy. And here is literally an image that's just sparsely populated. I'm actually going to zoom out a bit more so you can see the whole thing. I know, isn't it super cool? They're still working on it. It's not done yet. Trying to find something that will be... It's kind of hard to see. A color map. I like how it's just a color map. That'll work, I think. Here's just, you know, a sparse sky. So yeah, that, I want to share that with you guys. Yeah, I find it super cool. And, yeah, it's not available to the public. I don't know if it ever will be. And I had wanted to upload, just random pictures to see what they sounded like. It was a really bright star at the beginning. It was. So yeah, it's super cool. I've wanted to upload images to it to listen, but I can't upload anything. I can probably request data, but I I don't even know what I would request because I'm so used to searching through MAST. But yeah, these students are able to pull requests from the telescopes. They've been taught RA and right ascension declination, which is really cool because they used an umbrella for that. And they taped things to the inside, and they had the BVI students feel and be like, oh, okay, this suddenly makes sense now, because you just can't show it to them. You have to present the information in another format. So, but yeah, the students are able to go and pull their own data. They work with source extractor. There's a very, very simple and screen reader friendly programming language that they're using. I forget what the name of it is, but it's super cool. And this is still all in development. And I think they have another year or two to go before they really have results. But yeah, also another thing, they've paired up sighted students with BVI students. And when they do certain activities in the classroom, they'll make the sighted students wear blindfolds, which I find hilarious. And they've actually adapted some of their exercises, like remote sensing, remote viewing, to be more to be easier for BVI students to do, as well as sighted students. There was one thing where they had this kind of a hill inside of a box, and the sighted students were sticking, this, there's a cardboard box, and they were sticking this thing through the holes, and there were holes that got created that weren't even supposed to be there, and it was hard to read the ruler and the markings and all this other stuff. They switched over to using unit cubes and a more sturdy box where you couldn't just poke holes through it. And the unit cubes were standardized, and they did Braille, so the BVI students could participate instead of just sitting there listening to, their classmates just doing the work. It's really cool, the things that they've done. They've been really working to get astronomy more accessible to blind and visually impaired, instead of just the products of astronomy being accessible to the blind and visually impaired. I don't have a tactile in my little cubby, but tactiles are made to help demonstrate things like eclipses and small bodies. And yeah, it's, instead of it just being like, here's some astronomy stuff, it's, here's how we can get you to do astronomy, which is important. And it's nice to hear globular clusters. That's probably one of my favorite files to play right now. So Larry Weird and Proud says, these designers would be good to have help communicate to aliens. I know, right? So, but yeah, that was all I wanted to share. And thanks for everybody that hung around for that and took part and enjoyed. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And yeah, I think that's all for today. So, as always, Science Sunday, CosmoQuest. Science Sunday is part of CosmoQuest, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We have our Daily Space, which is your news update for astronomy and launch-related things. Come to the website and do science. I'm really struggling with this today. Thank you, DPI. CosmoQuest is an association with Planetary Science Institute working in collaboration with Youngstown State University. And we are funded by you guys. Subscriptions, bits, all of that goes to pay for me and related things and other staff and things. So yeah, thanks guys, really. I couldn't do this without your support. And yeah, if you ever miss a stream, you can catch us on YouTube, where we archive all of our videos. If you're watching this on YouTube, come join us for the live streams. 1 p.m. Sundays, most Sundays, Eastern Time. And yeah, if you can't afford to donate or subscribe or do the Patreon or buy merch, that's okay. Come hang out with us and chat. Come learn things. Come ask me questions and make me go, huh, I don't know. Follows are free. Chatting with us is free. And besides, you get to see animals. Yeah, I know. You have opinions on this, don't you? All right. So, Purring Cat and I will go. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you later this week. Because later this week, Grumpy Cat is indeed grumpy. I'm gonna go feed the cat after I roll the credits. So yeah, bye everybody!